Darby Allin addresses the elephant in the room, and he says that because of the outstanding tag team record him and Sting have, they deserve a tag team shot. Sting obliges, and it looks like that is on the cards. One last title for Sting before he hangs up his boots. We're going to talk about it in just a second. But what's up, people? My name's Mex, the WrestleManiac, if you will. Back again with another episode of Revolution Radio, and I'm alongside my co-host, NK.
Yo, people, NK, man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. We are here, like I said, another episode of Revolution Radio, man. Yeah, man, there's a lot to talk about as per usual.
What was your general thoughts of last night's Dynamite?
I thought it was decent. I won't lie. I think it's the weakest episode since the new year. I thought it was decent. Storylines progressed. You know, it wasn't bad. Nothing was bad. There was a lot of women segments in the show, which I was shocked about. I was like, multiple segments that don't have. I was like interested. But yeah, nothing. It wasn't as good as last week's or the week before that. I just think this was kind of like okay, let's sow the seed episode. And this is kind of one of the episodes where, especially around this Revolution time, we're used to getting. I just hope next week or the week after we bounce back and get like a proper action-packed episode. These episodes aren't bad in isolation, but if the rest of the build to Revolution is like this, then but so far, like, there's nothing I can really complain about too much. It was just like another storyline building episode.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Big up everyone that's watching live, and of course you can listen to this back on your podcast platforms. Those that are watching live, let us know in the comments what you thought of last night's AEW Dynamite. Like you said, it was a decent show, man. I felt, you know, if there was like a skippable show, it's probably this, and you don't miss too much. The wrestling on the show was good, always is, but yeah, just in terms of just progressing a lot of things, there's nothing that really moved forward at pace, like you said. Yeah, I hope it's not that funk of Revolution, like you said. There's a long time for us to get there, and it feels like almost half the card, if not more than half the card, is written already. So it's just to really kind of get our foot on the gas and you know, get to some of these destinations ultimately. But we had some good stuff in the show, some enjoyable bits. I guess as we've come with the headline for the show around Sting and Darby and their tag team title opportunity, we'll talk about that first. These two came to the ring, and Darby Allin was kind of saying how much that Sting means to him, how much he meant to him before he even met him in AEW. And he remembered hearing about Sting's career, and he went to Sting's house in Texas and said that, you know, Sting still got it and all of that kind of stuff when he saw him wrestling in Sting's house. Again, they talked about their tag team title tag team run together, how good they've been doing as a tag team. Their record is 27-0, I think I want to say.
Yeah, 27-28, one of those two.
Yeah. And yeah, they deserve a tag team title opportunity, and kind of just left it like that. And he kind of gave the mic to Sting to see if Sting kind of agreed. And short and simple, Sting was like, yeah, I'm in. Let's go for it, sort of thing. And it was announced before the end of the night, before the end of the show, that Big Bill and Ricky Starks accepted the challenge, and in 2 weeks we are getting Big Bill and Ricky Starks defended the AEW Tag Team Championships against Sting and Darby Allin. I think we said this, that this is one way they can go to get to then Revolution against the Bucks for the title. I mean, I don't know how much it says about Ricky Starks and Big Bill, if anything, but I guess this was expected, and I'm guessing you're expecting Sting and Darby to win from here.
Yeah, I think Sting and Darby win going into Revolution. Did Big Bill and Ricky Starks have a title defense at Full Gear?
That's a good question.
I'm not sure they did, but I can't remember.
Yeah,
that card is blurry. But I don't think
I just remember a lot of stuff they did with Danielson.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I feel like they've been champions. I know they've had title defenses. They had title defense against FTR and so on and so forth. but there's a lot of the stuff that's not necessarily memorable, even though I think they've been a good act.
Yeah.
They've been a good act. It's just one of those things where I think the tag team title just needs it's one of the titles like that needs a revamp. I think we've said about the TNT. TNT's in better hands now. All international, all Atlantic, whatever you want to call it, is in a down period now. But for the majority of last year, it was probably like the premier mid card title. But the tag team title has been in a consistent state of like fluctuation for like years now. It's no longer just the thing of like we're in a bad period. Like 2023, I don't think there was a single good great tag team title reign. There wasn't a single one that was like great.
Who? No, wait. FTR were champions last year, weren't they?
Yeah, but their run wasn't for. I think
okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I feel like we've had like worthy people being champions, but in terms of like that one where it's like, oh my god, you're like the tag team division is back, or the tag team champions are really like carrying the division. I don't think so. So as much as I could say, yeah, I feel like Big Bill and Ricky Starks are being shortchanged by having a Dynamite match. Do I think they are like name wise or build wise worthy of having that final spot at Revolution? No. And if you are going to give Sting a title, it might as well be the tag team title, because I think they are going to drop the titles at Revolution. But Okada has taught me something recently, that apparently champions can just retire the belt. They don't even have to. Sting could literally go to Revolution, win, and then just retire the belt, and or just like vacate the belt. So that could be a possibility too. I don't think that's likely. I don't think that's the right choice, but it is something that is on the table.
That's true. Yeah. After all, I think we just saw a great opportunity to crown over in Japan TMDK as
exactly
trios or neverweight open tag champions, whatever it is. Never took the opportunity. I wouldn't mind that if it led to a tag team Continental Classic. But the Continental Classic was for the tag team titles as opposed to Triple Crown this tin or whatever. Some sort of tournament anyway for the tag team division to fight over those belts and crown the new champion. But it does seem, in line with the new characters of Nicholas and Matthew Bucks, that they will just take those tag team championships and done.
Yeah. And the Heat, just I know if they come out of Revolution, the Bucks put themselves as champions, that's literally gonna feed right into the gimmick. So it's perfect heel heat.
Yeah, that's probably where they're gonna go. Obviously, we've spoken at length over the months of Ricky Stark's probable exit of AEW. Don't know when his contract is up in terms of month dates or whatever, but this is surely like, a bit of kind of like a final straw. Like, gave him the tag belts, finally gave him an official title in this company, and then didn't really book them anyway. Although I would say they tried with those titles.
Yeah, they did. They've been trying with Starks more recently. I guess right now it's a little too late, but they've been booking him more on TV. It's just giving him significant wins. I think that's been the final thing. It's like, okay, you've been in programs with big name competitors. There's definitely been a level up in terms of the program you've been in. In my opinion, obviously he was a tag team champion at this point, but it would have made more sense if you're going to do the Continental Classic to put Starks in there instead of Andrade, and give Starks the push that you gave Andrade, because Andrade looked great after that Continental Classic run and just went straight to wherever, just left the company. If you gave that to Starks, that would have given him a lot more momentum and some big wins. But yeah, he was tag team champion then, but
they still could have done it.
Yeah,
like ultimately, it's like they put Andrade in that tournament and gave him that show in, maybe to try and save him, like, oh look, we're using you, sort of thing. Like, stick around, sign a new contract. But yeah, like you're saying, Ricky Starks is in the exact same position. And I'm pretty sure they would have known for certain Andrade wasn't going to stick around at that point. Maybe they know the same with Ricky. So who knows? But yeah, Ricky Starks would have been a better choice than Andrade for sure. And Andrade went on to have a bloody pay-per-view match with Miro following that.
That went nowhere.
At World's End.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know it for either person, because now Miro's not even on TV. It's a bit of a mess. But yeah, we had like we said, a relatively decent show. We're gonna get into the card. Before we do, if you're watching live, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to WRESTHINGS. This show was heavily telling us the news that we learned out of Collision, that the rankings are back. Everything seemed to be circulating around the rankings and giving people wins towards the rankings to kind of, I guess, justify what we're going to see at Revolution in terms of title matches. NK, what's your thoughts on the return of these controversial rankings?
I think they're overall good. They're net positive overall. I think it provides the product structure. The rankings will be wonky at times. Like I think last time, I think going into this time, I know there will be some moments, but I do think, like the Continental Classic, it gives matches reasons for to happen. You could easily justify a match that doesn't have a lot of heat on it as, hey, these two guys are fighting for the number 2, number 3, whatever spot on the rankings. The rankings were kind of a part of AEW's early identity. And yes, I think Dave Meltzer brought up a point where it's like rankings haven't, a lot of companies have tried rankings and they haven't worked per se. But I do like that they're trying again. I do think it just adds that extra oomph to the product in terms of like, okay, why is this match happening? Easy, we're rising up the rankings. And it provides a better hierarchy of things. It's just how can you sustain it? And I think now that we have 2 shows instead of like Dark, because what rankings became at the end was like, this person accumulated 16 wins on Dark. Maybe they might use Rampage for that, but Rampage is a little more justifiable than Dark in terms of accumulation of wins. And now they've got 3 shows. So it's a little different in terms of the amount of shows they have. But it remains to be seen whether they prove to be effective or not in it. But I'm overall happy because I think it's more symbolic than anything of AEW going back to its roots. For me, I liked it in the sense where it's like, okay, where we're pushing guys like Adam Page, where we're pushing guys like Swerve who feel like AEW guys, and we're bringing back, the thing that we started with. Yeah, it feels like we're getting back to basics, and the product as a whole, in combination of like the last couple of weeks of AEW, it does feel like we're getting back. We're not fully there yet, but we're getting back to what we came here for. So overall, like I'm for the rankings. Let's just see how they execute them going forward.
Yeah, likewise, I'm for the rankings. I'd like to think that because they're bringing them back, they've worked out how to use them better. At the same time, I think I read yesterday that, did you know the reason that the rankings went in the first place?
Allegedly Punk.
Yeah, that Punk didn't think they made sense or didn't like them or whatever the case is. So yeah, I think the bigger issue, rather than one single man not liking them, is, like you said, propping it up with wins on Dark and Dark Elevation, and then telling me someone beating unsigned jabronis is now eligible to become TNT champion, let's say. It was just not being used in a genuine way, sort of thing. That issue can still arise with the likes of Rampage, potentially, with the likes of Ring of Honor, especially. I don't want to hear people running up scores on Ring of Honor now coming over to Dynamite and getting
please no,
just keep them separate.
I've
thought about ways they can do it in terms of maybe weighting points. Like a win on Dynamite is X points, a win on Collision is X points, a win on Rampage might be slightly less. But it seems like they're beginning to put, names on Rampage again to help with acquiring wins and stuff, because we see Darby Allin was on there last week, Moxley's on there this week. So yeah, it might go towards it and might favor that showing as well, getting some better ratings and that. But yeah, I'm for it. Let's just, I think they said the first table is going to be published at the end of this month.
They're going to do a monthly thing, so it's going to accumulate. I think with rankings, if let's say like somebody's on a win streak and they've got a title shot, but the pay-per-view isn't for the next month, I think you can they should say something like, hey, I've got a guaranteed title shot, but I'm waiting till the pay-per-view to rotate. It should be like, I think I could justify that. It's when people are going on win streaks for like 6 months and they ain't even had a title shot.
FTR last year,
I'm like,
2022 was
I'm like, unless there's a justifiable reason, like, I don't know, they're holding a New Japan title or something, then I don't know. But I don't know. Yeah, I think the rankings, I don't mind if somebody collects wins on Rampage as well as Dynamite, then I'm fine. If it's only Rampage, if it's a TV title defense, I'm fine with it, because Rampage is a TV show, but Rampage shouldn't be the end all be all for a pay-per-view. If you've got a random title match on Dynamite and this person's accumulated wins on Rampage, fair enough. Like, Rampage is still like a televised program. Most of the talent on Rampage are signed. Fine. I can justify that.
I mean, I don't want them to do something like Jeff Hardy gets 10 wins on Rampage and then gets a world title shot. Although I don't mind seeing Samoa Joe smash up Jeff Hardy, but yeah,
I don't mind if they do it once in a while and that doesn't become a crutch, then I'm fine. The random win streak here and there, like, fine. But if it becomes like every person that strings against 5 wins together on Rampage gets a title shot, then no.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the review. Show opened up with this was a weird segment, I would say. Samoa Joe came out, which was great. Hook, he was obviously saying his bit, he won, the blah blah blah, he's still champion. Hook came out and Hook took to the mic and congratulated him, you're the better man, this, that, and the other. Put out their hands, shook each other's hands. Hook pulled Joe in and said to him, which he looked like he was holding a mic to his face, his mouth, but didn't quite, like, I don't know, enunciate himself well enough for the whole crowd to hear him, that he wants to circle around basically and get another go. Joe was great. Joe kind of pushed him away and Joe was like, right, so I've beaten you, basically get this unworthy guy out of my ring, called security and stuff like that. He rushed the fake security until the real security guys came in and then Hook exited. Am I right in saying that was it? Like,
yeah, that was it. I thought, I get what they were trying to do. It was awkward because I think Hook's delivery was bad.
Yeah, his delivery, and it sounded like his voice, like he was putting on a voice.
Yes.
Or something.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it felt very just. Yeah, I get what they were trying to do in terms of like set up a rematch, but I just thought I think it's an execution issue. Hook promos are not Hook's so strong suit, and we can see clearly here. But thankfully it was over quick. It was awkward. I watched this. I was like, that's a bit of a. I just wanted Joe to cut a promo because I love Samoa Joe's promo. And when Hook came out, I was like, okay, maybe we'll set up a rematch, but just the execution of it was a bit odd. But it ended quickly anyway, so thank God for that.
Yeah, it was relatively quick. And Joe took to commentary to watch Hangman and obviously give his opinions on Hangman Adam Page versus Penta. Absolutely great match. This is where Penta thrives. Stick him in a match with any of these top guys, he will work his ass off and make everyone look great. Hangman looked great. Hangman, I think he pulled off 2 buckshot lariats here. He turned a Canadian destroyer into a deadeye near the finish, and then another he hit the buckshot for a finish. Really good stuff. back and forth. Like I say, Penta can easily be inserted into these top positions. One day we just need to see him with a serious like singles title and let him
Yeah.
actually go on his own kind of run. But that now put Hangman Adam Page at 3 singles wins for 2024. So he's firmly kind of getting wins, inserting himself on this new table once we see it in terms of the rankings. What did you think of this match?
Yeah, I thought it was a good opening match, and like you said, I want to see Penta like kind of like go on a singles run right now because I think Penta's just super talented, and he's someone that I pray put him in a Continental Classic or something because he deserves it. I mean, there's so many stars to put in a Continental Classic that you're spoiled for choice, but it's a great opener. I love the back and forth between him and Joe. Um, and yeah, like the rankings kind of gave this match an extra oomph because it was like, okay, like whoever wins, obviously we all know Hangman's winning, but whoever wins kind of advances in the rankings. And I've been liking what they've been doing with Hangman. Just seeing Hangman on TV more often, it's like, why did this guy spend half of 2023 away from television, not doing like he started off last year great with Moxley, then disappeared into the elite stuff. Then midway throughout the year, all in, all out period, he wasn't doing much. Like Hangman should be in the top title programs, whether it's the actual title program or whether it's like facing against top opponents.
Yeah, he should be right at the top of the card. He's that good. What I really enjoyed about this, obviously, Samoa Joe on commentary is special as well. He was very cocky at the beginning. He was just like enjoying Hangman getting slapped around. He was enjoying it being like an even fight between the two of them. But as the match progressed, as Hangman got into his gears and stuff, you could see that Samoa Joe's confidence was kind of waning. And he was just becoming a bit concerned with Hangman in the ascendancy, and obviously then Hangman with the win. And obviously him and Hangman were shouting some words at each other post-match. So yeah, we're still quietly kind of building in the back Hangman's intention of facing Joe for that AEW world title as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm liking the title. I'm liking the title scene, man. And I think we're obviously like we're probably born into a triple threat, and this is the first time where I'm like, I don't want anyone to lose because like I want Joe to continue in the title reign. I don't like seeing Hangman lose, and I think one of these days we have to circle back my Hangman title reign. But then Swerve is just on the ascendancy, so it's like it's a title match where it's like I'm rooting for all of you guys, but only one person can leave, and I think it's one of the few times where in a triple threat, any option is a good option. Like like I think Hangman's the weakest option. I think out of the three, but if Hangman was the title, am I complaining? No, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a build where I'm like, all three guys deserve to be champion, but they all bring a different thing to the title. So yeah, it's a very interesting title picture.
Yeah, doing a good job with it right now. Booking these lot together in and around each other. Backstage, we had Orange Cassidy. He was speaking to Renee Paquette, and she obviously confronted him about Roderick Strong and the international title and how he feels about it. And Orange Cassidy just basically said, like, my man's a donut. If he wanted the title so bad, should have just faced me last week for it. Now he said he wants to wait to the pay-per-view, that he's going to keep doing his thing, he's going to keep defending that title. And yeah, we'll see with Roderick Strong on winning the title. Said that he's gonna go out for Trent Barretta's match because have you seen Wardlow? He's big. We also got backstage. This was Nicholas and Matthew Jackson walking backstage. And they were stopped they stopped Top Flight, who they accused Top Flight of just coming to work now, just arriving at work now, and chastised them for being late. But they said they were joking and everything like that. I think they said something about we hired you guys, something like that as well. Just kind of rubbing it in, and let them kind of go on their way, and were just kind of keying at the fact that like they've got this power and they're doing all this kind of shit now. These lot are unhinged, bruv.
Bruv. And it's only gonna get worse. I feel like we're just starting now. Like it's gonna get, and all what I like about this, even in storyline, you can see like it's gonna get to a point where teams like maybe Top Flight, and other teams are gonna get sick of their antics and shenanigans. Like they're slowly just like week to week. I just want to see them antagonize another team, antagonize another tag team. Like I'm your boss, I pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I feel like we're just slowly building. I feel like if they do win the tag team titles, it's gonna be it's gonna be a fun run. It's gonna be a fun run.
Yeah, it's gonna be good shit. It'll be good. Next up we had Trent Beretta going up against Wardlow. Adam Cole came out with Undisputed Kingdom, which is good to see. Obviously, he's still on his crutches and stuff. And they all stood on one side of the ring, whilst Best Friends and all of them guys stood on the other side of the ring. I don't really have much to say about this match. It was just a decent bout. I guess he knew Wardlow was gonna win. He put him away with like a vicious, very high power bomb. Yeah. What did you think of the match?
It was fine. Like I said, obviously, I need to see what Wardlow does. I need to see where his role is in this properly. Obviously, he could squash Trent Beretta, but like I said, I just feel like that first segment, I wouldn't have just said like Wardlow needs to go for the title. That's the one thing that's bugging me, because now you set Wardlow out an objective. Now all I'm thinking about is how he's gonna complete the objective. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the Kingdom, they've completed their mission. They've got titles. Roderick Strong's on his mission. Adam Cole can't compete because he's injured. Like everyone's doing what they need to do, and Wardlow's just doing squash matches like we've seen before. Like everyone's doing their thing.
A squash match with Trent Beretta is not impressive. Like I'm not moved at all.
No.
And like we said this last week, I believe.
Yeah.
Like Roderick Strong, obviously the Kingdom had titles coming into the group. Roderick Strong has identified the international champion. He's approached him. He's got his match ready, waiting for him. Why hasn't Wardlow approached the AEW World Champion if that is the plan? Like, if you are going after him to bring this title back to Undisputed Kingdom, you need to go and find the AEW World Champion and do pretty much what Roderick Strong done. And I mean, my next question for you was, obviously, we were saying it's early with Undisputed Kingdom and stuff like that. How do you feel now? Like another week has gone on. This is what you've seen.
I think.
What's your opinion?
I think it will kick into gear once Roderick Strong wins the title. I think right now we're just building to that point, and like we said before, the build to that we'll see. I kind of want to see the actual Kingdom do more. Whether it's like collision match or a rampage match, just have them be more active in the field, because right now it just feels like Roderick Strong and obviously Adam Cole. I guess with Wardlow, they could justify it, saying, "Oh, he's building up his wins and losses to eventually get a title," but then just say that. Just be like, "Hey, I'm going for the title. I'm getting my wins up. Anybody, every week, I'm squashing you guys. I'm stat padding. I'm getting my wins up so I can fast track myself to the title." Then I'm like, "Cool, that's what we're doing. That's what Wardlow's doing." But just say that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shows that he is putting some plan of action into the general plan of what they need to do at the very least. It's I don't know, man.
I'm just waiting for Kyle. I'm just waiting for.
Yeah,
that's it. Because once Kyle O'Reilly comes into the fold, we're complete. I'm telling you, Wardlow, and I don't want to make it seem like I dislike. I think Wardlow's like got a tremendous potential, and a lot of the damage that has been done has been on the booking of Wardlow. it's just I don't know what to do and what to do with him in this specific faction. It's just he's everywhere he goes, he always feels miscast or misplaced.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. I think turning Wardlow heel was the right thing. But it's like, even when I say, hey, international title picture, there's a guy like Roderick Strong, or there's a guy like Roosh, or there's other guys there where it's just like, at this point, might as well beat Eddie Kingston for the Continental title. That's the
I was
only
literally
thing
just about to say that.
I could see for him. If you squash Eddie Kingston, like, or you beat Eddie Kingston dominantly, then fine, we can do that. But other
Yeah.
than that, I'm not really seeing the value in Wardlow in this group specifically.
Yeah.
Go to the
That's
E,
a
man. I'm
legit.
so sorry. I know this is Revolution Radio. Go to the E. At this point, no, because at this point, yeah, just I don't see it happening for him in AEW. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't.
His best opportunity now would probably be to step away. Maybe if you wanted to come back in a few years down the line and feel fresh
Yeah,
again, then something like that. But
that's something.
yeah, I
Impact.
think it's the cut your losses thing, because like this is only gonna go one way with him. He's gonna get kicked out of this group. He's
Yeah.
gonna be on his own again. Then what are you gonna do with him? How are you gonna book him on his own again? Because we've already seen a sample of that. So yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Adam Copeland, there was a little vignette he cut, getting ready for his main event match with Minoru Suzuki, called him and Suzuki grizzly old bastards. And that, it's pretty much a dream match and they're going to go at it. This was followed by a face-to-face by Tony Storm and Deonna Purrazzo. I thought this was so well done. From the production, the split screen, black and white one section, and then Deonna Purrazzo on the other side. Both ladies came out. Deonna Purrazzo's basically saying that, I want to face the Tony Storm that moved in with me, the Tony Storm that, made waves around the world, this, that, and the other, and you should stop living this gimmick and all of that kind of stuff. Tony Storm had a really good line about, I heard that last week they body shamed you. That's it. Like she said, like, that's embarrassing. Is that all they could find to shame you about?
Yeah.
So she kind of flips it on its head. And yeah, she's obviously saying like she acknowledges Deonna Purrazzo and stuff like that, but she's going to she threatened to twist Purrazzo's lips until she needs like an epidural or something like that. Just some crazy stuff coming out of her mouth. Purrazzo pointed to the fact that obviously, like I said, she, wants Tony Storm that worked on dojo floors, lived on dojo floors, worked hard. And she made reference to a tattoo they both have on their ankles. She pulled up her trouser leg and showed her ankle. And the camera zoomed to Tony Storm's ankle and revealed that they've got that same tattoo, obviously, which pretty much confirms their friendship. If anyone just thought they were just yapping for the sake of yapping and trying to sell a story. And then, fisticuffs kind of embraced from there. Tony Storm threw a shoe at Purrazzo. Purrazzo didn't allow it. Mariah May and what's my man called again? The butler.
What's his name?
I don't know why it's left in my head.
I was going to call him Gunther, but it's something else.
It's not. Festa keeps coming to my head.
Luther, that's it.
Luther, that's it. Luther came and he got involved as well. And Deonna Purrazzo was left with the AEW World title, which she held aloft, which we tend to know that, if you're holding this title aloft, that's not yours. You ain't gonna win it.
It's a curse.
But yeah, brought to the end a really good women's segment. I don't feel they do enough of this kind of stuff. I don't feel like they give women enough time to talk sometimes. So yeah, they've done a good job with this, I say.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I felt like the way Deanna's been introduced has been great. It's been great, and the story of her and Tony has been great. they've had how many? Deanna's had what 2-3 matches on Dynamite so far, right? Or two?
I think she's had one collision match, one Dynamite match, so two
Okay,
in
so they
total.
are, because I was gonna say they haven't confirmed this match at Revolution yet. So she's, because if they are bringing back the ranking, she needs a bit more wins, but they are giving her wins.
Yeah,
So yeah, so she is getting that win-loss record up. But yeah, I do like the story between her and Tony being friends. Yeah, just for overall, I think overall it's a really solid build. Like
yeah,
nothing groundbreaking or earth shattering, but just like a really solid, like tender build. And I like they've treated Diana Perazzo well as she's come in, put her straight into the title picture, given her interesting storyline. What I was thinking about this. Do you think we have Diana Perazzo face off against Mariah May before they get to the Revolution match? Because Mariah May's a factor in this equation, but then, in my opinion, do you want to pin her this early as well? That's my only thing I'm hesitant about, because I feel like the feud does need to go up again in terms of like, okay, we've established the respect, and you know how these feuds go. There's one thing that makes the rivalry heated, and I think Mariah May could be that person that makes the feud heated. But
yeah.
then you just debuted her. Do you want her to lose this early?
I think she can afford to. Like, Mariah May hasn't been given Diana Perazzo's position. We know she's on a echelon lower than that at the very least. So I think you could. Like you said, there needs to be something that's gonna have to light the fire of, and we have still another 5-6 weeks to fill. So yeah, they can give her versus Mariah May. Even if they wanted to do it as the little decoy, like if you beat my young girl and Mariah May, you get your match with me and whatever. So yeah, they could do something like that. I don't think it will kill Mariah May or anything like that. And Mariah May can then just go on her own little run before that match as well to build up some wins. She already has a couple of wins, I believe. So yeah, and then obviously you're mentioning Diana Perazzo get wins. I guess I'll just mention now, we saw later on in the night Johnny TV and his missus, Taya Valkyrie. Taya Valkyrie challenged Diana Perazzo, said that, if anyone in this company knows about Diana Perazzo, it's me. Challenged her to a match on, I want to say Collision, but next week on Dynamite.
Next week Dynamite. Is Johnny TV signed?
Yeah, he got signed last year, innit?
I didn't know he was. I thought it was just a recurring card. I didn't know he was signed. I didn't see. Did he get the All Elite graphic?
I'm pretty sure he did. I might be wrong. His wife is signed. I know his wife.
I know Tyre's signed. But when I saw them both on TV, I was like, I can't lie. I have no space for Johnny TV on this roster. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, there isn't. But they're not using him either. Like,
that's what I'm thinking. Is he signed or not? Because it's like, when I saw them together, I said, this is taking up TV time. Like, I know Ty Valkyrie's fine, but them two as a couple, duo, we don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. It's taking up time. There's other people you can be pushing. Like, this is the hate to John Morrison. Actually, I've never been a fan of him as a wrestler, to be honest. I'll keep up. I'll keep up, but I've just never seen it. But yeah, but this segment did lead to something else. So I can't poo it too tough. Like, it was important to establish that. And like I said before, it's given Diana Perazzo necessary wins on Dynamite. So, like, it is what it is. But yeah, I just hope Johnny TV or whatever, this doesn't become a thing, because we don't have time, man. We don't have time. The roster's already at capacity, and they were wasting time on this. Please, there's other guys.
I can't lie. I'm a sucker for a wrestling couple, but I wouldn't mind if it's a thing of Taya's the star and Johnny's like her manager, her valet.
Yeah,
he just follows her around or whatever the case is. Because I'm not invested in Johnny.
You can give her wins on Rampage. That one, Rampage wins. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I've never been invested in John Morrison, so likewise, I don't need to see him now when he's in the September of his career. Other than that, the Diana Perazzo, Tony Storm stuff was pretty good. John Moxley backstage, he cut a promo. He said the Blackpool Combat Club have had a lot of wins. How many times have they celebrated these wins, had parties, blah blah blah? none. That he's ready to hurt more people. Sorry, excuse me. He's ready to hurt more people. He wants more vengeance. He wants more blood. All of that kind of thing. He cut a similar promo last week about this as well. And within these promos, he's mentioned the Blackpool Combat Club. I don't know, like, how I feel. Like, is he turning on someone in this group, or is he trying to break free? I don't quite understand why we're doing these or what he's getting at. It's just like 2024, I'm moving mad. Like, it's what he's saying. And he keeps mentioning the Blackpool Combat Club, which I feel is somewhat targeted.
Yeah.
Because last week he said something like, even people in the Blackpool Combat Club that need to pull up their socks. He said something like targeted on them.
Yeah, and then also on Collision, it's like we've got the whole Danielson, Eddie Kingston thing, and obviously he's boys with both of them. Do you know what? I don't see, maybe not Blackpool Combat Club splitting up this year, but I think something is going to happen within that faction because they seem a little disjointed, and I feel like something is going to happen. Even Moxie in 2024, it's one of these things. Moxie's been booked well throughout AEW, so this isn't a thing of me worrying. But what's he gonna do this year? Because I feel like he was in the mid card picture with the international belt, and we know he's above that belt. But it was nice seeing him there. But he's done that now. Does he take a shot at a tag?
Has he?
I think he's done that, but like, I don't care to see him go back to it. It's not a chapter where I'm like, hey, you need to. It's like, okay, he did it. He did it. He got injured, got it back, and then lost it to Cassidy. It could have been better, but at the same time, it's not I'm not looking at it as, oh, this was a totally wasted opportunity. It's like, oh, this is something cool. Didn't really get fulfilled, but I'm not dying to see it return. Maybe. With Moxley this year, I'm sure he'll be fine, but I'm just questioning what he's doing. Danielson's got a clear direction in terms of let me just get all the matches I can out of this run. We saw it with an announcement that happened later. Claudio's chilling at the moment. Claudio's chilling, but yeah, you as pure champion, so he's fine. But yeah, I just want to see what Moxley does this year. Whether you give him matches like Shingo throughout the year, where it's just like, okay, somebody will come in and we have like a mad match this year, or Moxley.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind like Moxley doing an extended tour in Japan, if I'm being honest. If he's like away from the product a bit and then comes back in spurts, because I think him in Japan, there's a lot for him to do, and he's really enjoying himself out there.
I slightly want him to become IWGP champion, heavyweight champion.
That would be interesting.
Give him, because if there's anyone that deserves it, that can still help maintain the company, can help them do this strong push that they're trying to do this year, literally bringing strong into the US and all of that stuff, Moxley has to be the guy. And like you're rightly saying, there isn't much for him to do within AEW this year. Like, that's your man. That is your man.
Yeah.
Like, maybe Windy City Riot is too early to do the title change, but that's your man as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Or maybe because Ospreay is imminent at this point. I think he will be at Revolution. I think post Revolution is when we get Ospreay as like a full-time talent. I think if you want to revisit something, a quick feud, you kind of revisit the Ospreay and Moxley thing that they did, but that only buys you like a month or two at max. That still doesn't that's not a feud you drag out for the entire year, because we've seen that feud a lot of times. But
Ospreay beating Moxley en route to maybe becoming champion at All In is an idea, because he's we know Ospreay's credentials, but for the audience, he may need a big scalp before he becomes champion for people to be convinced and buy into it. Or if Moxley is to become, well, to be fair, you wouldn't want Ospreay to take a loss. I wouldn't say that, but I think giving Ospreay a big win over Moxley could help to cement him if he needs cementing. But okay. And then that's the next up. We saw the Ty Valkyrie stuff, which you talked about. Next up on the show, we got Swerve Strickland versus Jeff Hardy. I watched Darby versus Jeff Hardy on Rampage on the weekend. Decent match. So Jeff Hardy got this opportunity against Swerve. I felt this match was better than I thought it would be. Like
same here.
Jeff Hardy really kind of showed up, sort of thing. And it's like, man, like you put him against someone good, and Swerve is good, and they're very different, like, you know, with their style, sort of thing. I just feel like I feel bad saying this. I don't want AEW to get twanged into thinking that
he's still got it.
This is Jeff Hardy. This is it, because it's my man. Like, I don't think he can be trusted. More than anything, I don't think he can be trusted. Unfortunately, I don't want to get into his misdemeanors and stuff like that. But this was a very, very high energetic, vicious match. Obviously, the right person won. We saw that like downward spiral, setting up a suplex, and then the stomp off the top to put Jeff Hardy away. But I just thought this was a good match, kind of mirroring the high action and stuff that happened in Hangman and Penta as well. But Swerve gets a win here. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I thought the match was really. I thought the match was like I said, like you said, it was better than it had any right to be. Because I looked at this match in the car, I was like, oh, why are we doing this? But then I was like, fairs. And just like I said, just Swerve. The momentum is there. That's the thing I'm just happy about. It's like he's come out of the Continental Classic and and obviously he's in the title picture, so that adds to it. But Swerve still feels like Swerve. I mean, when's the last time we took a loss? Like, this guy has not lost in a very, very
London,
Classic.
wasn't it? Is it London?
Yeah.
Oh well, or Continental Classic he lost, I guess.
Yeah, Continental Classic he lost. Yeah. But like this guy is just like he's on the ascendancy, and it's just nice to see. Like, all we just need is just the finish right there.
Icing on the cake,
title. But like the build, like the making of Swerve, like, because for a long period of time, like even when Swerve signed, I was unsure about where his ceiling was. In fact, I think I remember even booking him as he should be the one to dethrone Orange Cassidy, because that's kind of where that's kind of where I saw him. I'm not gonna say I never saw him as a future world champion, but it just wasn't something that was on the forefront of my mind. But the last couple months, and I think the feud with Hangman is was a massive step in the right direction. I think that was kind of the thing that legitimized him and showed that, no, I am ready for this. And then his performance in the Continental Classic further added. And just seeing him now, it's like, I believe you. Like, I say every week, it's not a thing of if, now it's when. It's not a thing of, like, if Swerve finishes his AEW career and does not win that title, that is one of the biggest missteps the company's ever done, because they've done a super successful job at building him to this point. And I just feel like now, whether it's now or Double or Nothing, 2024, we must see Swerve win that title. I don't care if it's not Revolution, that's fine. I can deal with that because Joe's having a good run. But by Double or Nothing, and the reason why I say Double or Nothing, because Ospreay's going to win that All In. I think Ospreay's made them All In. I think you just have to do it there. That's Tony Khan. That's how you do hometown pop tax, not Saraya. Ospreay. That's what you do. So Swerve is here, man. Swerve is here. But like you said, I don't want Tony Khan to get ideas about booking Jeff Hardy. If you're gonna book the Hardys, book them as people in the tag team division, that Private Party, that Top Flight, that all these teams get wins against. That's it. That's what they're there for. Just a legitimate team, a veteran team that these young guys can use to elevate themselves. That's where we are now.
he's gonna give them more work. There's he's giving Jeff Hardy work on Friday night now against Darby. He's giving him work on Dynamite now against Thing. Whether it's in a singles capacity or tag team capacity, I don't know. Maybe Matt is hurt right now, so he's just doing something with Jeff. Who knows? But this isn't the end of it, unfortunately. But I do promise you, Tony Khan, that if you give them an inch, unfortunately, they will take a mile, and something will go tits up, unfortunately. So let's just learn in it. Like, let's just learn and take time.
Maybe we get like Sting and Darby versus the Hardys, like a tag team defense.
That's not a bad idea.
I wouldn't mind that on a Dynamite. Yeah, just do that, find that match quickly, and then keep it stepping.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. But yeah, we just have to be very smart with how we use them, and let's not overexpose them. Even at this age, they may need wrestle this 10-minute match, they'll wrestle again for 2-3 weeks, and we bring them back in. So even so that they still feel special, you hear their music, and regardless, you forget for that first 10 seconds, like, oh, it's the Hardys I'm about to watch wrestle, but it's the music that catches you, and you still feel like it's the Hardys coming out. But yeah. Let's not overdo it. Backstage, Hangman Adam Page was with Renee, and she was obviously saying that you're building up a lot of momentum, you're marching towards the AEW World title. Swerve walks into picture with Prince Nana, obviously saying that, look, obviously I've got the same amount of wins as you. He goes, well, who...
Damn it. Right, cool.
Yo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Bro, sorry, live viewers. My computer literally just went off. Like,
oh, really?
Restarted.
Oh, I thought it was me. I thought it was on my end because my thing just froze, and I was like, "What's going on?" So I just joined in and came back in.
Bro, my entire computer just switched off and then switched back on again. Don't know what that was about. Where were we?
Still live, right? Are we still live?
Yeah, it says it's still live.
Okay, cool. Comment section, let us know if we're live. Let us know if we're live.
Yeah, very weird. Right, sorry, let me find my notes again. So we said we're still live. Thank you for that. Cool. All right, let's keep going. We're nearly there anyway. So we saw Prince Nana and Swerve was saying that he's set to kind of challenge my man again. But obviously he took a kind of swipe at Hangman, saying who was the last person to beat you. Hangman said, well, that was last year, you dumbass. He left Hangman to finish the thing. So they're still kind of keeping these guys intertwined in regards to the AEW World title picture. We had a women's match, Red Velvet versus Thunder Rosa. I think this is Thunder Rosa's first singles match. Oh no, she might have had one on Collision actually.
She's had one on Collision,
so I think it's her first Dynamite singles match since she returned. Decent match with her and Red Velvet. I don't think there's much to kind of get into here. Thunder Rosa hit her with a drop kick and a 2-1 bomb for the pin. Yeah, what's your thoughts on Thunder Rosa getting back at it and stuff?
I think it's good. I think one thing I did notice on the show, and I'm proceeding with caution, but there were multiple women segments on the show that didn't have to do with like the title and so on and so forth. And I think maybe with the wins and losses, it could just give more women an opportunity to rise up the rankings. Can you still hear me? Have I frozen? I think I've frozen.
You frozen your picture, but I can hear you. Okay, now NK's gone off. Yeah, so yeah, NK's right. There was more in the way of like women's stuff over the last few or last show, this past show. Rosa was on it. Obviously, we spoke about the Tony Storm stuff with Deonna Purrazzo. We spoke about the let me see if I can move this off. We spoke about the Taya Valkyrie being on the show as well. So yeah, there's a lot of involvement there with the women of AEW, and maybe they're like looking to finally do something with all of these women that they've acquired over the years on this show. They deserve better, and maybe it is warming the place up for the arrival of a Mercedes Moné. Yeah, you can only think that they need her to come in as well. We'll keep going. It looks like neither of our computers and stuff want to play ball today for us to do this show. NK's back. It was your turn to get kicked out.
I don't know what's going on today. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
technology.
it's a weird one. Yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say about the women's division stuff?
So I was saying that the women are getting more segments on the show, and there's someone I actually want to spotlight. She wasn't on today's show, but I've been seeing a lot of praise for her online. That's Queen Aminata. She's someone that has been doing good things, rising up the ranks. This is kind of, I want to say it's a step in the right direction because it's too early to say that, but this is kind of what's needed. And then obviously the reports have said like the Mercedes deal was probably 90% done and so a part of me, the syndicate be fixed. Okay, they're cleaning, they're laying the table, they're cleaning the
preparing
carpet.
the house.
They're preparing the house. We have a guest over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know when your mom brings the fine china. You haven't seen that one before. That's what they're doing. They're cleaning the division up, innit? Whether that's sustainable remains to be seen in it. But this is kind of what we need to see. Not everything needs to revolve around the title. Maybe Thunder Rosa picks up a couple wins, and we get her have a rivalry with another prominent name in the division. You know what I'm saying? So like it's nothing to like sing praises about yet, but it's something that I did notice that usually we don't get a lot of like women's segments on the show, and it wasn't just like segments. It was like we got a dedicated like at least 10-minute segment with like Storm and Deonna Purrazzo. Then we got the match with Thunder Rosa. Then we had the Taya Valkyrie segment. So like they're setting things into motion, and I think we got like a Serena Deeb vignette, and we've got a Serena Deeb vignette as well.
And this is all like I haven't fact checked this, but I'm very confident in saying, like you said, 10 minutes with Deonna Purrazzo and Toni Storm, about an 8-minute match with Red Velvet and Thunder Rosa, maybe a 2-minute vignette with Serena Deeb, maybe again about a 1-minute 90-second promo with Taya Valkyrie. I'm sure all of that together is more than any women's collective segment on any show last year. I'm positive.
Yeah, I could probably say that. I could possibly say that. Yeah,
like so. It's like you said. I said it just as well just before you came in. Like maybe they are preparing for Mercedes to come in, and this is some requirements the boss has made in her contract. Like we have to step up what this division is looking like if you want me to be a part of it. Which I'm glad if that's the case, someone can hold them to ransom to, pull their finger out and get the job done. But yeah, it's like you said, we got to remain and wait and see how this goes. But a good start. So Mogul Embassy versus Billy Gunn and Blade.
These men are jabroni.
So Bullet Club Gold came out first. Bullet Club Gold, look, they're great. They like, they just look the part. Love their entrance, all of that stuff. The Acclaim came out. You see Mogul Embassy. One thing really bothered me here. When they were about to make their entrance, obviously the Mogul Embassy Titron, this thing came on the screen, the LED screens, and obviously you see Swerve's face. Take Swerve's face off this thing, I beg. I absolutely beg you. Do not associate this man, this greatness, with these men. Like, it's unproductive. He doesn't even come out with them for their matches and stuff. Rightly so, by the way. I'm not saying he should. Like, and then as big, as brolic as they are, as muscular as they are, it doesn't matter who it is. They just go and lose. Like, I just don't need these men in Mogul Embassy at all. And the fact that maybe this has been a thing, but I've never seen it before. Like I said, Swerve in the balaclava on the Titron. I said, nah, man, you don't need to stop this. Don't do this. Like, but yeah, they went on. They had a match. I believe the trios titles was on the line. The AEW trios titles was on the line. Wasn't anything to shout about. Prince Nana tried to get involved, threw a chair into the ring, provided a bit of a distraction and stuff, but didn't cause any particular finish. There was a trio of finishing moves on Khan, who always seems to get pinned, finished by a mic drop, and yeah, they retained the titles. Bullet Club Gold did help them. So they're kind of showing that affiliation between Bullet Club Gold and Acclaim, since that's now a thing. What they called Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think of this?
I was fine. It was fine. It was okay. Like Mogul Embassy are cooked. They're done. Yeah, they're done. Like, it is what it is. That is, bruv. Like, it's just these men are losers.
Yeah,
perennial losers. I think I don't know if they're setting up a title unification thing. I think if they unify the trios and the both trios titles, I think that'll be great, because I don't see why we need two sets of trios titles now. It's like, just have the trios champions be a rotating role that goes up and down ROH and Dynamite. Just have it just be a thing that, these champions can go anywhere. We go up and down the show, and that's about it. But yeah, I think the obvious direction is Jay White will turn, Bullet Club Gold will turn on these guys. It's a matter of time. It's about, they will turn on these guys. And then we see where they go from there.
Yeah. I think, well, are we going to get back to, I know some people enjoy the silliness of all of these guys together, but are we going to get back to the reason why they actually united, which is the Undisputed Kingdom?
Yes, and, I feel like that needs to be
after them, man. Because that's ultimately the reason why we're here, isn't it?
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So it's like, yeah, we need to get back to that. But I think right now what they're doing is just kind of, okay, establishing this relationship. I don't think we're going to get any like progress until post-Revolution.
Maybe.
Because I think maybe like they might be setting up, that might be the Blood and Guts or whatever match. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I think they need to get to that. I just think right now we're just stalling. And I think even that feud, as much as I want Bullet Club Gold versus Undisputed, it feel weird without Adam Cole, and I don't see Adam Cole getting fit anytime soon. So it's a weird one. It's like,
yeah, they're gonna have to wait for Adam Cole to do that feud. Like, it's one of them ones, yeah. And if he doesn't make that progress with his rehabilitation, then maybe they just have to cut it, and then they use, like you said, Jay White turn it. The inkling that I've got with Jay, like, I agree, Jay White is Jay White. Jay White is going to turn on them, maybe to do the unification match or to steal those titles from them or whatever the case is. I don't think Austin Gunn will buy into a turn, because he wanted this. And I don't know whether he wanted this as part of I can get closer to my dad and all of that kind of stuff. Again, because obviously, the dad left them man for Acclaimed in the first place. So it might then, what I'm thinking is have some tension between Austin Gunn and Jay White.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jay White at least is gonna turn for sure.
Yeah. Do you know how long Juice is out for?
No, I don't know.
Because it depends. Because I could see Juice factoring into this as well. If he comes back anytime soon, I just want to get to the Undisputed Kingdom and Bullet Club Gold. I think that's what I want to see. That's what the people want to see. And we're just kind of just stalling at the moment, which is unfortunate. But like, I don't hate this for now. I just more so hate this as a circumstance of, damn, we're here now. How long is this gonna take? There's no real end in sight. But I'm not like the segments don't bother me too tough in it. It's just like I do like the pair. I do like Bullet Club Gold as a whole. I just feel like they need something. They need that thing.
Yeah. We got Serena Deeb's promo or vignette, should I say. She's gonna be on Collision this week, I believe. So that'll be her coming back, which would be great to see. That's another key worker inside the women's division. So it'll be good to finally get her back. And then we had the main event, Adam Copeland going up against Minoru Suzuki as part of the Cope Open, which I'm kind of like, at first I was just thinking, okay, like, what is this Cope Open stuff, especially maybe with the names that we've got coming through. But I like the fact it's kind of become a thing. This is proof of like you can just make things in wrestling without it having to be around a title, without anything serious. Not everyone needs like a serious crazy feud. You can just have a legend like this just ticking off minor dream matches and giving them the opportunity to work with some new names, young talents, to give them a spotlight as well. So yeah, the matches I don't feel have been anything spectacular or special. Like, they've just been really standard, fun matches for the most part, including this one. Him and Suzuki, it was a bit of like your brain tease of, how have these guys landed in the same ring after all of these years? It took a while for the brain to kind of comprehend. And, the slaps and the forearms and everything. And, Suzuki being Suzuki and teasing him, and they done the count when I think Suzuki had him in a headlock on the ground and put his arm up one, and before he even got to the 2 count, like, he powered up and all of that kind of thing. It was a typical kind of Edge match and all of that kind of stuff in terms of how it was put together. And Suzuki was very fun during it. He actually won by, I think Suzuki went face first into like an exposed turnbuckle, and he got him in a kill switch, obviously sending message to Christian Cage, pinned Suzuki. He went to, show Suzuki respect after the match, shake his hand, this, that, and the other. Suzuki made some noise like an animal, like a disgruntled animal, and just got out of the ring. And there were minor boos, but obviously people know Suzuki's character. And Adam Copeland even said on the mic, to be honest, we would have been quite disappointed if he shook my hand anyway. But yeah, he just said, I'm kind of still coming after Christian Cage. Like, this was a battle. Christian Cage don't know nothing about a battle. And he's still coming after him. What was your thoughts on Minoru Suzuki versus Adam Copeland?
When I saw this match announced on Twitter like last week, but I think it was announced on Collision, I think. I was like, what? Huh? And I was like, I want to see this because this don't make sense in my brain. It don't make sense, but it's happening. It's possible. And then I've been loving just the vignettes they've been doing on Twitter, really promoting this match as kind of just like I said, just a random spectacle that you can only see in AEW. And this is And then the match itself, like, it wasn't nothing groundbreaking spectacular, but just seeing Adam Cole work a strong style match in terms of the forearms. In my head, I was like, okay, Suzuki's up there. Can't I bring Ishii next week? Why not? In my head, I was thinking, who can? Okay, I want to see Adam Copeland wrestle like this more often, but against like somebody who's like, because Suzuki in this stage of his career, you know the spots, forearm. He's for his age, he's really good, but for his age, do you know what I'm saying? He's not going to put on a 5-star classic or anything like that.
Yeah,
but I thought this match was really fun. It was a really fun match, and it was kind of, if this is what the Cope Open's going to be, of course you can't get imports over time. I mean, you can, because they got Luigi Nagata on Collision now. Just seeing wild, wacky matches. I think the thing with Adam Copeland's running AEW right now so far, the Christian story is amazing, but Suzuki's the first time where I'm like, oh my god, he's really in AEW, because I cannot get this anywhere else. I would never see this match anywhere else. Even though he's faced guys like Dante Martin, Adam Copeland's faced plenty of young guys on the come up. He's never faced a guy like Suzuki. And these are the type of matches I want to see him have before he gets to that top upper echelon guys like the Omegas, the Hangmans, and so on and so forth. Having these fun variety matches would be amazing. Like, I would love, like I said, throwing the first person that came to mind for me was Ishii. Throw him in with an Ishii and just have them do Copeland spears Ishii. Ishii does the classic kick out at one spot. Just have fun with it. I like it. Just have fun with Adam Copeland, isn't it? And at this point, I think he's gonna win the TNT championship, and it'll be a good thing. But at this point, if Copeland's run was just like, hey, random variety match, I'm for it. Incorporate this a bit more. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, if he wins the TNT championship, I'm sure the Cope Open will continue in that fashion of open challenges for the TNT title. And it kind of just makes sense. And I like, did you see Gareth's post around kind of giving each of these belts a division sort of thing?
No, I didn't see that one. No.
I wish I liked it, because I've been trying to find it for the last 2 weeks now. So he said the heavyweight title is like face of the company kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The international title is the workhorse belt.
Yeah.
He categorized the TNT belt as basically the sports entertainment title. And I can't remember the other ones, but I said, this makes sense. Like, if this is going to be the belt, your old-timey WWE guys and anyone else from around the world comes in and fights for, like, a bit like a Legends belt, but sports entertainment-ish or whatever. Like, if you wanted to give Jeff Hardy a title shot, like, that's the top.
Yeah.
That's where it should be. Nowhere else, like, if not tag. So yeah, I like the way Gareth kind of categorized these titles, and Edge still kind of, although he's picking up wins, let's be frank, they're not saying it, but he's got the same 3 wins that Hangman and Swerve have, this year in singles matches, but they are keeping him going for the TNT title and leaving him over there sort of thing. So it's a good way to kind of separate them, and he's making that TNT title feel important as he kind of wants it more and chases it down. It's good stuff. But go on. Sorry.
Overall, I've just been happy with just the introduction of Adam Copeland with Christian has made a lot of sense, and I think we're probably gonna get a Revolution match, and then I'm very intrigued to see what he does afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, if I'm being quite, like you said before, if I'm being frank, I haven't been blown away by the in-ring work. Nothing. So I've been like, oh my god. But just seeing him in AEW, and he's been treated well, and I think Adam Copeland as a grizzled old veteran. I mean, we saw a bit of this character in WWE, but he's brought it to AEW and kind of revved it up a little bit. I really like it. And just even because I never thought of Edge as a gritty wrestler. So when he was grit your teeth with Suzuki. I was like, I believe you, but this is different. This is different. And I kind of want him to embrace like this grizzled, old veteran type thing where like, okay, I've been the pretty boy. Now I'm here to scrap. Now I'm here to just do a madness. Yeah.
Yeah. In like you're saying, in his last few years in WWE, he was really trying to get this grit thing over.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't win any of his big matches. He had title matches with Roman and of that nature. He didn't win any of it. But yeah, I think, and then they tried to. That's when they started putting him in the Judgment Day and made that swanky bollocks stuff. So yeah, this is good for him. Like you said, he's been the pretty boy. Now let him just kind of show that he still has it. Basically, he's going after a title that is fine, absolutely fine for him to go after and win. And like I said, I'm sure the Cope Open continues after that, and we get some interesting other matches and stuff like that. And maybe he can help to put over someone that we genuinely care about and want, in a young guy that needs to be doing more, doing better, or whatever the case is. But yeah, time will tell and we'll see. But yeah, that was Dynamite. Like we said, not like a super explosive show, but a good show ticking on nonetheless. We've got some things moving on. The other thing I forgot to mention, the Bucks in the you see the segment where they were like booking TV, like they were doing like the production stuff. And then Nick Jackson said something under his breath, like this is a terrible camera shot or something like that. Like oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna be fun once they really kick into gear with this. But yeah, we've got, and I think it felt like they booked Dynamite with one eye on, WWE's got Royal Rumble this week or weekend. Like, maybe let's not overdo it because Collision doesn't look they put Danielson and Nagata on that, which will be interesting to just get that match.
Right, because we've got Danielson, Nagata, and then we've got the big like steel cage match as well.
Yeah. Which I think I was going to ask you as well. Which they're advertising as Escape the Cage, but at the same time, these traditionalists have always said you shouldn't be escaping the cage in a cage match.
But they said elimination, escape the cage. So what does that mean? Because
exactly, I don't know what that means.
If it's elimination where pinfalls, like, okay, your team loses and then obviously they get pinned and they leave the cage, that's fine. But if I see man crawling out of the cage, nah, we don't do that here.
This is what I'm thinking. Maybe escape the cage mainly means like just like survive the cage, survive like
maybe. Hopefully, sure. I just hope it's one of these taglines in it. But yeah,
we'll see. MAA there in the chat, thank you for that. We didn't mention the fact that Swerve and Hangman, it's a dealer's choice situation, so they will pick each other's opponent on Dynamite next week. Now I think when you do this is very kind of, I don't know how I feel, because it's like, surely you should pick someone that's going to absolutely wreck the other person.
Yeah,
but I can't see them picking like.
I see them doing something. Watch, I bet you Hangman picks AR Fox for some.
I was gonna say
AR Fox.
I was gonna say Keith Lee, but Keith Lee is injured, or it's gonna be AR Fox.
It's gonna be some storyline sentimental reason where it's like, hey, this was your brother, man, and you don't have it in you, or something. And for Swerve and for Swerve to pick an opponent for Hangman, I don't know, because Kenny's not there. The Bucks are doing their own thing. In terms of like, Hangman doesn't really have a lot of strong relationships outside of them, unless they pick John Silver, which is stupid. They're not gonna do that. Well, actually, they might, but I doubt it.
NAA says, I feel like Hangman gets Cage or something.
He's already being Cage at bare times.
that wouldn't move me at all. I'll be vexed if it was Cage, to be fair.
They might do Cage because Mogul Embassy, someone, obviously, I don't expect it to be like a out of contract like AEW talent. I don't think it will be that. honestly, as soon as I saw that, I thought, yeah, but it's gonna be AR Fox, man. I can feel it. It's AR.
That's the first thing I saw. I saw someone on Twitter said that either Hangman could do this to spite Swerve, or Swerve could do this to kind of help AJ Francis, Top Dollar. And I know that's not something you would want to see, but imagine like Swerve brought in Top Dollar as like a nod to the past to face Hangman. That would really be helping my man. But
if they had got if the person I'm thinking a big name that would work either way is Moxley. But they wouldn't just insert Moxley here because Moxley has wins over both guys. Moxley obviously recently beat Swerve in the Continental Classic, and then Hangman had that feud with Moxley like last year. So, but I don't think they would just insert Moxley to be feeder for storyline, innit? So
this is what I mean. For me, this is going to be. I just feel already it's going to be underwhelming because AR Fox, for me, I understand why you'd be picked, but it's underwhelming. Like, if you're going to pick someone's opponent, you want the person to be a destroyer. You want, I don't know, the indie equivalent to a Lesnar, like, to come out and finish somebody. Like,
this is a random one, but would you be satisfied if they pick like a Lance Archer?
No, because all Lance Archer does is lose. Like, don't get me wrong, this person is going to lose regardless. Hangman and Swerve are both going to win. Yeah. But like, this is why I don't like the stipulation, because it's like, we're not going to achieve anything here.
Yeah. I think a Lance Archer would be fun. If Hangman picks like Lance Archer for Swerve, it's like, hey, this guy, you know, I went to war with this guy. Even though we know Swerve's winning, for me, it's like, okay, I can see the in-story like justification for Lance Archer. AR Fox, I can't see it. Like, there's no way.
I can't buy it. I can't buy anybody. I don't know. Archer would be obviously a big physical presence. Cage would be a big physical presence. Unless he done something like, unless Hangman said, Swerve, you fight Cage. And then there's maybe like some conflict within the camp. But I just can't buy into it because they're both gonna win. So it's like, who is really gonna shock me to the point? It would have to be a Moxley. That one of them has to face Moxley, and then I'll be like, because is Moxley gonna now lose here? Let me watch this. So, but other than that, I don't think I can buy any result here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll throw it in. I was even gonna say Roosh, but then Roosh loses, has lost to both of these man. I'm like, it don't make sense either.
Yeah,
where is Roosh these days? Like, you did the LF5 vignettes, and I didn't see them in time. Like, where is?
When's the last time we saw him? Continental Classic.
Continental Classic, and then
after
that, and then he did like a promo afterwards saying LF5 will be back. How we are, and then we just haven't seen him.
Oh man, maybe that's what he was literally saying. LFI will be back. Like, we're not about right now. Okay, MMA says Roosh is injured too. Thigh or hamstring. Oh,
that makes sense.
Cool. All right, then let's wrap up this show. Big up everyone for watching live. Big up everyone that's going to listen back. Of course, for this week, the Wrestling's podcast is already out. It was recorded live yesterday, so you can check that out as well. And for anyone that's in London, get your tickets. We're hosting a Royal Rumble watch party down in Loading Bar, Stoke Newington, North London on Saturday night. So come and watch with us. And that'll be a good fun time. NK, any last bits before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. Just I'm honestly, I think the speculative card for Revolution, the card that they've kind of like foreshadowed and booked to in my head, seems to be a really good card. Obviously AEW shows will have like 15 matches on the card. It's just something that just happens. But yeah, I just want to, right now I'm at the point where, in a good way, get me to Revolution. Just get me there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready. Get me to Revolution. I'm good. I feel all the storylines, most of the storylines you've shown on TV have been built decently well to like well. And yeah, and honestly, I'm just excited for post Revolution is now the introduction of Ospreay. Post Revolution, we're in the Ospreay era.
Yeah.
And I just want to see him on weekly TV, because pay-per-views, we know what he could do. But on a weekly basis, see them cut promos on Dynamite, because I love you, Ospreay, but the potty mouth can't work on TV. You need to,
not all the time. It will
not
run
all the
dry
time.
as well.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm just excited to see what's going on, and then maybe the Mercedes thing. Who knows? People are saying she's odds-on favorite for that. Who knows? Maybe Okada, but apparently the rumors are saying he's WWE bound, but we don't know in it. But
nothing's done. By the end of Revolution, it may be like a all out 2021 scenario where Mercedes, Okada, Osprey have all arrived. Like,
I
and we're
can't lie, that's
literally
a
begging for
crazy
Wednesday
scenario.
Dynamite to come round.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's possible. We'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, man. Good show, good Dynamite. We'll be back here same time next week, with another step forward towards Revolution. But yeah, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week, guys.
Peace.
Big up.